enhanced by millions of highly secured MCU-powered devices. Simple, intuitive, and safe solutions that are connected and smart. It's 13,000 aircraft engines monitored in real time. Machine learning in the field powered by the intelligent cloud. Informing split-second decisions back at the factory. It's AI that makes job sites safer. New ways to collaborate. It's the next generation of modern PCs to help you achieve more. At the office, at home, on the go, and inside fantastic new realms. This is the Intelligent Edge. Modern shopping experiences that empower consumers and drive profits. Smart buildings that save energy while costing owners less. Grid optimizations that reduce energy costs of an entire city by 30%. This is the Intelligent Edge. Devices and services that make us smarter, safer, and healthier. It's a future amplified by your innovation, creating real value for all of us. Welcome to the Intelligent Edge.
请掌声欢迎微软全球副总裁 Nick Parker. Please welcome Corporate Vice President, Consumer and Device Sales, Nick Parker.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Computex 2019 and the Microsoft keynote. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for the incredible growth that we've had in the last year together. It has been an amazing journey of new solutions, new customers, and new partners this year, and Rowan is going to join me to talk about the vision for the modern operating system, and Rodney, our IoT business opportunity together in partnership with you. But I want to start by saying thank you for the year together, and thank you for all of your efforts. Thank you. So much of what has fueled our growth together has really been the basis of how we see our accountability and responsibility in the world. And this is informed by our worldview. This view of the intelligent edge and the intelligent cloud, that incredible cloud capability infusing the edge with new capability and new opportunity for our business and our customers. And it all starts for us with Azure. We have more certifications and more data centers than any other public cloud. And it starts in the cloud, but that cloud moves all the way through to Azure Stack and our hybrid environments, through to Azure IoT, all the way through to Azure at the edge. When we start to think about the opportunity that presents in this distributed operating system, we really imagine some of the new capabilities. And in this last year, we turned that vision that we shared with you this time last year into reality with so many new customer wins and solutions that we delivered together. Now, it's very hard to choose which of the customer solutions and which of the partners' solutions to talk about, but I thought I'd share a few of those case studies and those moments of excellence that we showed together through really a simple day in any one of our lives. For me, it starts with my two daughters negotiating how much Minecraft we get to play before they go to school or before they eat breakfast in the morning. And in fact, it's that Minecraft game that they play through their Xbox Live account that is their intelligent cloud. And their intelligent edge at that point in time could be their Xbox, it could be mum or dad's phone that they're playing their game on, or it could be a tablet that they might play on in the car on the way to school. That's their intelligent cloud and their intelligent edge. Many of you may have seen the win that we had with Starbucks this year, where Starbucks made a commitment to bring our Azure IoT all the way to the edge with that Azure Sphere solution on their coffee machines that provide a consistent customer experience, that consistent cup of coffee across the world, and of course business continuity by instrumenting those machines through to their corporate enterprise cloud, being able to seal the data, reason against it, and then make business decisions based on it. A huge win. My wife is a doctor. Her intelligent edge is her PC that she uses for everything, from our home life through to sitting in front of patients, taking patient notes with ink and touch, extending the hospital secure network right out to her device as she continues patient notes at home or catches up on a movie or our family planning. It reminds me of the win that we had with Eli Lilly this year, where they adopted Microsoft 365 across 40,000 of their employees in their enterprise. Eli Lilly, the world's leading pharmaceuticals company, as they do their research and they collaborate seamlessly across enterprise boundaries, across geographies, and in that research environment where secure edges of their network across all of their devices and all of their capability to be able to collaborate seamlessly and help them realize their vision, where they can bring new technology and new medicines to their patients who are always waiting. And finally, all of our lives. All of our lives that aren't tied to one device or one platform. For me, it's taking photos of the sights of Taipei, those photos that are shared with my mom in England, those photos that are shared real time, and then maybe we do Skype with my daughters at home in England or in the US. And then, of course, my corporate enterprise life. The same photos at the shop floor, the same photos of walking around the Computex arena and sharing technologies or ideas with my friends and collaborating in a real-time way to ensure that we're bringing the best of everything that we collaborate with through my use of Office 365 for work, my use of OneDrive at home, and using my phone to back up everything that I do to my OneDrive personal cloud. That is my intelligent edge, both personal and business, and my cloud. And with all of this, that incredible trust and security you get from our partners, and that rich device experience that's lighting up the incredible audio, the incredible video across all of the devices in our lives. I love numbers. And let's tell the story of our success together in the last year, but also how we look forward at the numbers that we can measure ourselves against, that we can really inspire ourselves to build businesses. And when we think about how we're enabling you, are we building those platform components that you need to grow your business in these areas? And are we building the go-to-market capabilities and sales motions to enable you to differentiate, to design, and to imagine new solutions and devices that leverage that power of the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge? You can see the cloud growth there, phenomenal growth by the percentages. From our enterprise adoption all the way through to our Azure revenue growth, all through partners. And of course, our continued growth in server products and capabilities. To the global scale, 800 million of Windows 10 monthly active devices. And of course, as we approach the Windows 7 end of service, huge opportunity there as well to grow that number even further with your unique solutions and capabilities. Great use of our Office 365 and our Office Cloud products. And of course, Xbox, that gaming platform, and the future of that platform as we look forward to xCloud and Game Pass across Xbox console as well as PC. And of course, gaming PCs, that phenomenal capability that is unique to Microsoft and Windows and you, our partners, continues to go from strength to strength and breed new innovation and new opportunity for each of us. But as we look forward, the connected devices opportunity is exploding. Our ability to see devices all the way through the edge, for them to be part of that trusted end-to-end distributed environment. The platform capabilities that we're giving you to seize opportunities from the edge all the way through to the cloud, to bring new cloud services, new AI, new cognitive capabilities to your devices. That helps you leverage some of that tremendous growth that we've seen in the last year, where the intelligent edge and the intelligent cloud vision truly came to life in a very commercial way for all of us. And we see that continuing to accelerate and grow as we look forward. And of course, deeply rooted in all of this opportunity is where we see the PC business. We see new innovation, we see new silicon diversity, we see new capabilities of the modern OS that Rowan will take you through, that will really help you start to detail and fill in the dots of your plan for growth that we can enable you with. And so that leads me to our commitment to you and how we imagine our responsibility in partnership. The first is that customer engagement, of working with you and your customers and your partners and our channel motions and our channel programs to seize the opportunity. Seizing the opportunity to design new portfolios and solutions that inspire customers and businesses and consumers around the world. Seizing the opportunity to work in new ways on existing businesses, from the end of life of Windows 7 all the way through to the next generations of devices that our modern operating system enables. And that's where we see this platform for growth. We are your commercial platform for growth, as you can see by the fundamental numbers. Betting with us is something that we take very seriously and very humbly. We thank you for that business. And we continue to want to be your best partner for your growth, leveraging our platform from edge to cloud. And finally, as we go together and transform our business and our industry and our solutions, we want you to hold us to those very high standards that you demand for your partnerships. So thank you very much, and please give a warm welcome to Rowan Sones, who will take us through the modern vision operating system. Rowan, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, this room is responsible for some incredible achievements this year. By now, you all know that we have 800 million Windows 10 monthly active devices. But what you may not know is that we added 150 million net new devices this last year. That's 23% growth, and our fastest Windows 10 device ramp yet. Thank you. It is because of your fantastic devices that was possible. Thank you. I am thrilled about the progress that we have made. But that's not where my aspiration for Windows ends. I aspire to have the most satisfied customers on any device of any kind. I aspire to have the most innovative hardware and software experiences of any ecosystem. And I aspire to have a growing and engaged customer base on Windows. This is a vision I know we all share, and I think we can get energized and excited to aspire to together. Now, we need to be aware that the world is changing. The customer of tomorrow is different than the customer of today. The customer of tomorrow had a phone before they had a PC. The customer of tomorrow learned how to use a touchscreen before they learned how to use a mouse and a keyboard. They have had their expectations set by these experiences. All-day battery life, instant on, always connected, modern apps, new interaction models. These are different customers, and they have new expectations. Now, the good news, you've already started building for that user of tomorrow. In just the last month, we have seen incredible innovation announced. And we all know this is just the beginning. I am thrilled to see you leading with Windows. And we have your back. We are absolutely committed to the right operating system investments to fuel your ideas. As you've been building for the future, so have we, with the vision for a modern operating system that builds on the last 30 years to get ahead of what the user of tomorrow will expect. A modern operating system starts with a set of enablers that deliver the foundational experiences customers expect from their devices. A modern OS also includes a set of delighters that deliver innovative, people-centric experiences. So let's start with the enablers. First, seamless updates. With a modern operating system, updates are invisible. The update experience is deterministic, reliable, and instant, with no interruption. A modern operating system is secure by default. The state is separated from the operating system. Compute is separated from applications. This protects the user from malicious attacks throughout the device lifecycle. You are always connected with a modern operating system. Wi-Fi, LTE, 5G, it'll all just work, and you never have to worry about a dead spot. All of your devices are aware and connected to each other. A modern operating system provides sustained performance. From the moment you pick up your device, everything is ready to go, and you never have to worry about where you are going to get your next charge. These enablers will satisfy a customer's basic needs, but to truly differentiate, we must also delight our customers. A modern OS delights customers with cloud-connected experiences that enhance the customer's local device experience with the compute power of the cloud. These experiences are also AI-powered, as a modern OS is aware of what I'm doing tomorrow and helps me actually complete it today. It enhances applications with the knowledge of all data, not just your own. A modern OS is multi-sense. You can use pen, voice, touch, gaze, and they all work just as seamlessly as keyboard and mouse input. And finally, it provides the ultimate in form factor agility. A modern OS has the right sensor support, posture awareness, and display interaction to enable the breadth of form factor and application innovation that I know this room will deliver. These enablers and delighters form our vision for a modern operating system. They will provide the foundational elements for an evolution of the PC ecosystem to participate in the more people-centric experiences of tomorrow. With that, I actually want to spend a little bit of time demoing some of our recent Windows 10 innovations that take the first step towards bringing the delighters of our modern operating system vision to life. So let's get started with cloud connection. The connection between your PC and your phone is actually one of the top delighters that we've tested with customers. In fact, it drives up PC purchase intent by a customer by 8%. Last year, we shipped the Your Phone app that through the power of the cloud connects your PC and your phone. Today, we're going to preview new updates to the Your Phone app that will be shipping this summer. These include the ability to mirror your Android phone screen on your PC, as well as receive all of your Android notifications on your PC. We're also announcing broad availability to connect your phone to your PC through a mobile data connection, not just over Wi-Fi. So with that, I would like to welcome Gloria's son to come join us and take a closer look. Thanks, Gloria.
Thanks, Marianne. 各位好，我是孙纯恩，我很高兴各位来参加微软的主题演讲。我以前会用中文，简单的中文跟我的奶奶聊天，但是今天我会用英文讲解微软的软体功能，好吧？ Because of the power of the intelligent cloud, working to enable experiences on my intelligent devices, I'm able to get my content wherever I am, across my devices. There are times where I really need my phone because of the functions it provides me. Access to my friends, access to my social network, and even my photos, and probably everything else you can imagine. Other times, I'm pretty reliant on my Windows 10 PC for my documents, my emails, and my calendar. These two types of edge devices, my phone and my Windows PC, haven't always been in sync with each other. Content hasn't always flown both ways. But now, I'm excited to share with your phone app on my Windows 10 PC, I have instant access to my Android's photos, my text messages, and more, wherever I am. 基本上，我想要我的手机和我的电脑彼此沟通、彼此连接。So since I've connected my edge devices, my PC and my Android phone, I'm able to view my Android's content straight from my PC. So you'll see here I've got my photos up. I've also wanted to go down here on the left-hand side to phone screen. This is actually a mirror of my phone. And I can use my PC's keyboard, PC's mouse, and PC's touchscreen to actually interact with my phone. I have access to my phone's app. As I click on Instagram here, you can see that I can even use this to click on an item, click on another item, and I can go backwards. So I'm interacting with this. My input actions from my PC move swiftly, all made possible by the Bluetooth connection. Your work in enabling Bluetooth protocols that give our edge devices the ability to connect, in addition to the intelligent cloud services, helps me surface content when needed. So 你看，刚刚我收到一个信息, which reminds me, had I missed the notification that I just received, I could go over here on the left-hand side to the notifications. Here, I have access to all the notifications in real time from my phone, directly on my PC. Imagine being able to leave your phone in your pocket, your bag, or your purse. No longer having to continuously look at your phone every couple of seconds, you can stay in the flow and on your PC. All right, so let me show you something else. Instead of pecking away with my thumbs on my phone, I have the power, the full power of my PC's keyboard. So let's just respond. I'll go over here to messages. Robert asked me to do dinner at 6 p.m. 我就回复，我们今天晚上要去鼎泰丰吃饭. So I'll just respond to him, yum, can't wait. Yum. Yeah. With your phone app, I can send and receive texts from my PC. Hyperlinks, GIFs, emojis, bitmojis, images, paragraphs, text to your heart's desire. Efficiently, with a keyboard, with a larger screen, and from your PC. Your phone app works wherever my edge devices, my Android phone, and my Windows PC are connected with Wi-Fi or mobile data. We look forward to evolving this app with your partnership to bring additional delightful moments to our customers. Thank you. Let's bring out Roanne.
So a special call out to Samsung here and the Galaxy Book 2 notebook, powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. It's a really exciting opportunity with the Your Phone app to bring the power of their phone ecosystem to this device. And it's actually an opportunity for everyone in this room to drive up the appeal of your PC to consumers desiring a coupled phone experience. If you want to light up the ability to mirror your phone screen, it requires a Bluetooth LE radio with ScatterNet support. So please work with your IHVs and integrate this into your full PC portfolio for the widest range of your phone app features to be available on your devices. Now, let's shift a little bit to talk about delighting customers through AI-powered experiences. One of the top things we all do on our phone is take pictures. And it's pretty common that those pictures end up on your PC. In fact, 47% of our Windows PC users edit their photos on their PC. So Microsoft has built a machine learning model that we now ship in Windows and is integrated into the Photos app. It runs locally, so when you have the horsepower of a really big GPU, like the 2nd gen Ryzen from AMD, Qualcomm's 8CX, or Intel's 10th generation processor, you will see a major shift as a customer in photo rendering performance. Let's bring Gloria back up, and she's going to show us how AI and machine learning in the Photos app will create a delightful experience for customers.
Cool. All right. So I'll pick up where Roanne left off, and I'll open my Photos app here. So having signed into my Microsoft account, the cloud can help me aggregate my photos into OneDrive across my various edge devices. So here we are. With the help of AI in search, on the top left, I can actually search by person, by place, or by thing in my Photos app. Identities are automatically tagged. I'll say that one more time. Identities are automatically tagged and become searchable. So a few hours after I added all my photos into the Photos app, the app learned some of my people identities. Right here. Local machine learning on this PC plugs in for facial recognition. And here, I can quickly get to the photos of my friend Carol. 用脸部识别的方法很快就找到我的朋友 Carol。好吧，我们先搜寻一下。I'll come here and search。譬如说，我想要找到所有有笑容的照片。I'm looking for all the pictures, an easy one, where people are smiling. So I'll write the word smile here, click on this tag, and just like that, I got all the photos with someone smiling. 或者，我想要找到户外的照片，我就搜寻绿色 looking for all the photos of anything outdoors. And I clicked green for grass, excuse me. 好吧，或者我们搜寻婚礼的照片 type in wedding. You can see across the time frames it pulled back all the photos of the wedding. 最后我想要搜寻吃的东西，我就搜寻食物 food. Machine learning helps our users improve their productivity and get more done. You saw how the Photos app recognized that green color for grass, those wedding photos. I didn't have to train the app. I didn't have to train this Photos app or even tag the photos. The machine learning did it. So with Windows machine learning and edge devices, you can get phenomenal people-centric experiences. And we'll call Roanne back to the stage.
Excellent. Thanks again, Gloria.
Yeah.
So the workload of tomorrow is going to be graphics and AI intensive. I encourage everyone in this room to act thoughtfully about how you are going to incorporate more GPU and AI silicon capabilities into your PC designs across all price points. Two examples of devices that were recently announced that embrace some of this design guidance is the latest Dell XPS 13 with an Intel 10th generation processor, and the Lenovo T495 with the 2nd generation AMD Ryzen mobile APU. Finally, let's talk about delighting customers through multi-sense experiences. When we think about natural interaction on the PC, we have been working really hard to close the gaps between your pen and ink experiences and your keyboard and mouse experiences. Today, I am pleased to announce that we've extended our ink support of Asian characters in Windows and Office. This is going to be an exciting demo, I promise. The innovation in this room, including partners like Wacom and Elan, will enable fluid inking experiences with the first dual protocol pens and touch controllers that support low latency and high fidelity inking with tilt. So let's bring Gloria up one last time to demonstrate our multi-sense platform and show you how those experiences can be made more powerful by Windows ML and cognitive services.
Thanks, Roanne. So I can now use my digital pen to write on my PC, just as I would pen to paper. On the bottom left here, as I tap in this Windows search box with my pen, you'll see that the PC understands I'm using a pen as an input. It brings up a larger text field here for me to write in. So since I've been visiting Taipei, getting ready for this, I'll search for Taipei 101. Let's try this, here we go. So that one more time. There we go, Taipei. 1, 1. Perfect. So as I drew that in, as I wrote it in with my pen, naturally, the Asian characters got recognized. 搜选, 直变, and became tools to help. Windows Search located the content for me across the web. So whether you're searching in a text box or in the Windows shell, searching in a browser or within a third-party application, you can take advantage of this control. We've integrated it into the platform. So let's do that one more time. I'm going to back this out here. And I'll write 开心. Okay. One more time. As the ink converted to text, it got recognized, and Windows Search helped me locate my content from across my cloud account and on this device. This is the PowerPoint presentation that I was working on yesterday, called Happiness. What our partners have done here amazes me, both on the intelligent edge, my PC, and in the intelligent cloud. I can interact naturally with my devices and get more done. So I'm going to slide to slide 6 right here. And in my PowerPoint, I can further use this digital pen to draw, to write, and to interact. What I can do is, kind of a straw tab, I'll select on lasso here, and I'll just circle this. 我把这圈起来。我可以把它放大，我也可以把它缩小，我可以换颜色，都可以。先把它换给黑色。And as I click on this button, I can convert this to text. And what Windows and PowerPoint did for me is recognize those characters, and it turned it to text. This is cloud-powered and recognizes the correct characters for me. Since I'm using my digital pen here, I just wanted to share one more thing. Oh, okay, 2 more things. I can use this pen as a clicker. If I were to put my PowerPoint in presentation mode, I could use the tail of it to actually click through and advance my slides. I could even annotate on my slides if I'm in presentation mode. But let's take this a bit further. 更进一步. I'll use intelligent cloud services to empower a new user experience. 这次我用我的声音. PowerPoint has an AI-powered tool that can translate speech into different languages, subtitling my presentation into a language of my choice. I'm going to go up here to Slideshow, and you can see on the right-hand side, this Always Use Subtitles box is checked. You can unclick it, click it back. Right underneath is Subtitle Settings. So here I've got this set to spoken language as an input as Chinese. My Subtitle language, I've chosen as English, so we've got plenty of options here. When I'm in presentation mode, live subtitles will start to accompany my speech. So let's try it out. 谢谢大家，希望各位在台北有个开心的一天。Thank you. It's always fun, huh? Building on the momentum of pen experiences coupled with intelligent cloud services and intelligent edge devices, we are optimizing for people-centric experiences. Thank you so much.
Can we hear a round of applause for Gloria? Thank you so much for your demo today, Gloria. Really appreciate it. So in order for customers to experience and love these intelligent inking features, they need to have pens in their hands, which means I need your continued support to actually attach pens to your PC lineup and support the latest Microsoft Pen Protocol 2.0 specs. This will give customers the greatest selection of compatible pens across all price points and form factors. The latest EliteBook X360 and the Acer Concept D7 are two recently announced PCs with excellent multi-sense capabilities. So we've showcased 3 of the delighters in our modern OS vision: cloud connected, AI powered, and multi-sense. All with an emphasis on the people-centric experiences that we see transforming the world. So now I want to switch gears a little bit from people-centric experiences to data-centric experiences, expanding beyond the PC to the full spectrum of intelligent edge devices. To frame the broader opportunity, let's welcome Rodney Clark on stage. Hey, thanks, Rodney.
Hey, Ryan, how are you? There's a lot of conversation in the industry around this term, transformation. Just in the 40 minutes that we've been here today, it's been mentioned and referenced probably 7 or 8 times. When you see this word, what does it mean to you? How do you define transformation? Do you call it a makeover? A lot of people call it a makeover. Do you call it gamification? Or do you use a term that I love when I talk to my partners in industrial manufacturing? Do you call it digitalization? Well, whatever you call it, we at Microsoft know that the intelligent edge and the intelligent cloud is enabling transformation for companies large and small. We also know that transformation hinges on 3 pillars. It hinges first on your ability to transform your business models. It hinges second on your ability to establish great partnerships in the ecosystem. And then it hinges third on your ability to pick a cloud platform. What I'm going to do over the next few minutes is walk you through examples of transformation that have happened in the industry with companies very much like your own, transformation that has happened to small businesses and large businesses. To do that, I want to take you on a small trip with me. I recently had an experience where I was in San Francisco and I was meeting with the city of San Francisco to talk about smart city, to talk about technology and implementation within and throughout the city. I was staying downtown in a small boutique hotel, and I noticed in the morning as I was getting ready, I looked down and I saw a bakery right across the street, and I decided that I would go to the bakery to have breakfast that morning. When I walked into the bakery, I got in line, and I noticed that in the glass window they had an Eclair and a bunch of other pastries, and I decided that I wanted the Eclair. And so I went up to the counter, I ordered my Eclair, and I took my cup of tea, and I start walking down the street, and I bit into the Eclair. And oh my gosh, it was the best Eclair that I'd ever tasted in my life. From the first bite all the way through the very end, I enjoyed every bit of it. And for the rest of that day, and for the rest of that night, all I could think about was that Eclair. I could not wait to get back to the bakery the next morning. And you would imagine that's exactly what I did. The next morning, I rushed over to the bakery. I get in line, I'm staring through the glass, and I notice that there are no Eclairs in the bakery. And so I see a gentleman standing off to the side, and I say, hey, excuse me, do you have any Eclairs? I ordered one yesterday. Are there any in the back? And he said, no, I don't have any Eclairs. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he points to a camera outside of his shop, and he says, that camera tells me everything that I need to know. And today is not the day for Eclairs. Well, you can imagine my heartbreak. Obvious heartbreak. Well, I asked him to tell me a little bit more. And at that point, we exchanged names, and I said, hey, I'm Rodney, I work for Microsoft. Like, tell me what this camera is doing for you. And his name is Pascal. It turns out that he's the owner of the bakery. And Pascal said that he uses this camera to track and manage people coming in and out of his bakery. He combines that information with weather data and information on local events, and it allows him very simply to predict which pastries he wants to sell on which day. And as he's talking, I start thinking about this notion of transformation, and it reminded me of Genetec, a partner that we have that's born in the device ecosystem. They built for years analog cameras that would call on security systems and send information, DVRs stored in the back of a room on a server. And what Genetec did was very interesting. They went through their own transformation. They said, we want to digitize these analog cameras, put a set of cognitive capability on the edge, and they went a step further. They built a solution called Retail Sense, which was basically allowing stores, retail stores, and in this case the small bakery, to track the movements of people in and out of their store, in and out of specific departments. Really, really great example of transformation. Pascal continued, and he said, hey, Rodney, come over here. Look in the back of my kitchen. You see this shelf? That's a weighted shelf, and I keep all of my ingredients on that shelf so that when we're low on flour or when we're low on sugar, it automatically sends a signal to my staff on when they should order more. And together I combine these two sources of information, and it helps me run my bakery. And I'm just blown away. I'm going, oh my gosh, weighted shelves, I just want a darn Eclair. But I'm impressed with the technology. And it reminded me of a solution from a company, Bizerba. Again, a company born in the device ecosystem. For years they sold scales and meat slicers, and they evolved that to food safety. And it eventually went to solutions, cloud-based solutions like WeightCheck. Real transformation at play, not only from this bakery, but from the ecosystem in and of itself. By that time, Pascal joined me at the table, and we had a seat. And I said, Pascal, what you are going through and the solutions that you have represent what we in the industry and what we at Microsoft call a digital feedback loop. And so I took out a napkin and I drew an interpretation of the digital feedback loop for Pascal so he could really get to the heart of how I think about it and ultimately what's happening in his shop. And this loop captures data and signals across businesses and connects and synthesizes information to improve business outcomes. And I said, in Pascal, in your case, the camera is providing information on demand, where the shelf itself is providing information on ingredients. This continuous feedback loop is enriched when you add new capability into it. The more new capability that you ingest into the feedback loop, the more data that it generates. And I said, imagine you connected your coffee machine behind you. That would be yet another intelligent edge device bringing information into your digital feedback loop. Nick referenced Starbucks. This is exactly what Starbucks went through. They leveraged Azure Sphere, the most secure connected microcontroller. with an operating system as well as a security service. And they wanted, in Starbucks, a solution that can help them manage, remote monitor their devices, their Mastrana coffee machines. They wanted a device in a scenario that allowed for secure exchange of information so that they could get recipes to their associates. Through the use of Azure Sphere, they're saving hundreds of thousands of dollars in each store. The implementation at Starbucks is an example of what we call a Guardian module. A module that sits outside of the device, that's manufactured and attached to the device, leveraging Azure Sphere, allowing for this secure connection. A lot of the innovation around Azure Sphere and these modules is happening right here in Taiwan, right here in this ecosystem, with companies like USI and AI Link. But there's an additional motion in Azure Sphere, and that's companies who design Azure Sphere into their actual device. So not just the Guardian module where you're attaching in current aftermarket devices and brownfield implementations, but integrated right inside of the device itself. Great companies like iDrips and Someone Coffee leveraging Azure Sphere to do the same thing, to help them generate the secure information about the types of beverages and when people are using their technology. I said to Pascal, these are all examples of intelligent edge and intelligent cloud solutions. Devices that are leveraging the power of the cloud to help make organizations more efficient and more effective. As I got into intelligent edge and intelligent cloud, just then a train races by. And since I had the piece of paper, the napkin and the pen, I decided to go through a little more explanation on intelligent edge and intelligent cloud for Pascal. I said, Pascal, imagine this train that just went by. That is your intelligent edge device. On that train itself, there are more than 10 heavy compute devices, computers if you will, from the thing that you tap to collect, that the driver uses to collect payment for a route, to the actual display that a driver uses to manage his or her route through the city. All examples of intelligent edge devices. And as it's traveling, that train is traveling through the city, it's connecting with different sensors and beacons along the way and exchanging information and giving the city of San Francisco information as to whether or not the train is on time, whether or not they need to pause the train or slow it down and turn the next light red because it's a little ahead of schedule, or turn it green because it's behind schedule. Giving the city information about passengers coming on and off. And so all of this information is being passed through a gateway, through IoT Hub. And from there, it routes data based on rule sets. And it's storing some data, and it's leveraging other data for real-time action. And it's producing a set of dashboards that helps the city, in this case, make decisions. Critical decisions sometimes, like whether or not to reroute the train itself when there is a potential disaster in another area of the town, or through crowd control. Well, Pascal says this is all great, but how does this technology land in something as complex as the city of San Francisco? And I explained that through services like digital twins, we're enabling cities like San Francisco and smart building manufacturers to accelerate their time to value. What they're doing is taking a spatial intelligence graph and modeling the relationship between people, between systems, between places and other assets in the city, and they're integrating all of that into an actual twin, a digital replica. And when you do that, it allows the city to make decisions on where to place technology, to run scenarios, if-then scenarios. If there's crowd control needed in the northern portion of the city, how do I reroute trains and redirect citizens to the southern portion of the city? They can make all of those decisions inside of the actual twin itself, the digital twin, without having to deploy that physically into the city infrastructure. And so this has done amazing, amazing wonders for cities like San Francisco, for smart building manufacturers, as I mentioned earlier, as they integrate this capability in helping them save critical money and accelerating time to value. So I went on further to explain a few examples to Pascal on digital twins and companies that are implementing digital twins. Rather than go through all of that, what I'd like to do is show you a video from one of our partners, Willow. Please run the video.
The Willow Twin is our feature platform for looking at the whole city and how we can leverage AI, IoT and cloud and bring it into one solution that's robust, safe, secure and it's scalable.
What Willow does is provide a digital twin replica of the built environment to bring together the static information that's produced during the construction of these buildings and the live dynamic information as well. We're leveraging the Azure Digital Twins platform because of the flexibility and scalability that offers.
The digital twin of the building enables us to do testing in a digital world instead of a real world without doing physical testing. This is the first time that we have a complete building with all of the infrastructure.
There's over 15,000 live data points on that building. There's over 57,000 static data points and I can find them at a click of a button.
It won't be very long before every single building construction process ends up with a requirement to have a digital twin of the asset.
The amount of information that we can now capture through the Azure Digital Twins platform is mind-blowing. Data from an infinite number of sources. So together with Microsoft, we will change the built world.
So what you saw there from Willow, and what you heard about Genetec, and what you heard about Bazerba and Pascal Small Bakery, is an example of a mindset shift. They all went through this fundamental mindset shift. And the mindset shift was that business starts when customer buys the product. Business starts when a customer buys the product. Imagine that statement for just a second and how that changes everything about how we operate and how we run our businesses. This is the type of mindset shift that's necessary when you're thinking about IoT. You have to think about your business model and how you're transforming it. You have to think about how to prioritize your partners. You have to think about picking your cloud, and it has to start with this notion of business starting when customers buy the product. Let me go through business model for just a second. The fundamental question that you have to ask in your business model, and as you're embarking on this journey of transformation, is what problem are you trying to solve? What outcome are you trying to achieve, either for yourself or for your customer? Do you have the right revenue streams? As Genetec made that transition from a primary hardware provider to a solution provider, it changed their overall pricing structure and model, going from hardware-based margin to annuity-based services. You have to think about your cost structure and how this business model transformation impacts your P&L. And then probably most important, as you're thinking about this journey in IoT and building solutions or partnering with others who are doing so, you have to think about your OR capability. Do you have the right skill sets? Do you have enough architects to build a solution? If you don't, are you partnering with people and companies that have that capability? The next area is partnership. When we were all introduced to IoT, some of us have been in this space for many, many years. And as the rest of the industry caught up to Industry 4.0 and things like that, and started recognizing the value of partners, it presented the partner opportunity in this linear fashion. And this is just not the way that we think about IoT today. It maybe was true before, where you had discrete partners that had a role to play, and ultimately, as those connections went along, you'd ultimately get to a customer. But because we know it takes 10 to 15 partners on average to complete an IoT solution based on our experience, this notion of an aggregator is in play. And at Microsoft, we recognize the need in the ecosystem for a role that hadn't previously existed. We tapped on the expertise and the deep domain knowledge of companies like Avnet, of companies like Synex, of ISVs like PTC, to help us pull and harness the capability of the ecosystem together. So if you're a small device manufacturer and you don't have a relationship with a large retailer, but you had a solution that was a great fit from an IoT perspective, in this world of aggregation, you will be partnering with a larger set of companies that provide the capability that allow us to present your solution along with the solution of others to the customer as one complete end-to-end IoT solution. This is how the channel works in IoT, and this is the most effective way that we can win together. The last pillar is picking your cloud. Another key learning for us over time, these thousands of implementations that we've done in IoT, is that we need, and you need, a consistent approach from device all the way through to your analytic cloud platform. The first choice that you make as a device builder is how that device connects. Either how it connects and talks to another machine, or how that device in and of itself connects to a cloud. The next choice that you have is your ingestion engine. When you're collecting all that information, think of that train going down the street and all the events that are being processed. How is that data being processed, and what cloud are you using to process those events, the ingestion engine? The third, and finally, is the data platform. How are you displaying this information? How is it reading out to you or to your customers in it? That's helping you take the actions that the data is generating. What we know, and the key message here, is that partners that invest in common architecture, from device to event processing, all the way to the data platform, have an advantage over others who do not. When you do this in a consistent way, it accelerates your time to value. And what that translates to is money in your pocket, top line, bottom line, sooner, faster. The reason we give this information and knowledge is because, again, we've learned this from over 1,000 implementations. But it's also because we have, as Microsoft, the most comprehensive and consistent portfolio in IoT. We do. We've been in this business for years with Windows IoT. 25, 30 years of embedded experience. We now extend all the way down to the smallest microcontroller. And we've welcomed Express Logic and ThreadX as an RTOS solution, over 6.5 billion devices that complement things like Azure Fiere, that now we can address the very smallest device and implementation from RTOS to Silicon, all the way through to Azure Stack and hybrid scenarios. The set of services in Hub, digital twins that I mentioned earlier, Azure Time Series Insights, IoT Central in a SaaS solution. As you move up the stack, we have the most hyperscale cloud in the industry, over 55 data centers worldwide. We're trusted by small startups, governments, and over 95% of Fortune 500 companies are leveraging our cloud capability. Again, we have the most comprehensive and consistent offerings from edge to cloud. Because of that, it gave Microsoft the confidence to invest in over $5 billion in IoT. And we're a little over 1 year into our investment. And the feedback and the momentum has been tremendous. And we're really, really proud to continue to invest in things like ecosystem acceleration, where we have over 10,000 partners from edge to cloud engaged and involved in our ecosystem. In fact, right here in Taiwan, over 50% of Azure IoT and Edge certified devices are created right here in Taiwan in this ecosystem. This investment in R&D is also fueling things like the Innovation Lab here in Taiwan, where we continue to support and invest in partner capability. We have over 1,000 solutions that we've built with the ecosystem. And when we talk about 1,000 solutions, these aren't just one-off, bespoke, unique, customized solutions. These are solutions that are repeated over and over again, meaning that when Action Point or Aon or Crestron with their XIO platform, when they're building a solution with this, we are going together and selling that to multiple customers. And we have over 1,000 of these that have been repeated and are now being sold to multiple customers. So we're really, really proud of our momentum there and the fact that our $5 billion investment continues to support the solutions that we're building with you in the ecosystem. More so than anything, the $5 billion continues to support innovation. It's supporting solutions coming out of R&D and into actual products and services. Azure Sphere is an example. It's also supporting the acceleration, over 100 cloud-based solutions built in the last year. Things like IoT Plug and Play, Azure IoT Central, and Azure IoT Edge. And so when we think about the investment, it's critically important that we continue to drive this innovation as Microsoft, and we're committed to continue to drive this innovation. So what I'd like to do now is hand it back to Roanne to talk about the set of services that enable the intelligent edge for our device ecosystem. Thank you all very much.
Appreciate it. Okay, so this time last year at Computex, I showed this very slide. We talked about the differentiated Microsoft IoT offering. From software that can run on any device, regardless of OS, to an edge runtime we are building, which will enable developers to write applications that span the cloud and your IoT devices. I also asked you to connect your devices to Azure. And you know what? You all delivered. We grew the number of devices connecting to Azure 150% year over year. And you built over 4,100 new device designs for our IoT ecosystem. Thank you. We are actually going to demo some of those today as they lay the foundation for the digital transformation that Rodney was just talking about. But the reality is that building IoT solutions is still really hard. 75% of IoT deployments get stuck in the pilot phase, and it can take upwards of a year to transition into a design win. We must create open standards to democratize the edge, bringing differentiation, economic opportunity, and partnership to incent all players in the ecosystem to adopt these open standards. We've done this before. We have. This room brought together OS, silicon, device, and apps, and built the Windows ecosystem. You put a PC on every desk, and you generated billions of economic opportunity for all. We are going to do it again. Only this time, we're going to do it for IoT. And we're going to do it on any OS, on any silicon, on any device. And we are going to create a new wave of application momentum built to seamlessly navigate across the cloud and the edge. It sounds pretty easy, right? We can do it. How are we going to do this? We are going to do it together. Between our platform and your devices, we are going to make it easy for solution builders to support our ecosystem and integrate your devices into their solutions. So let's jump in and take a look at the key investments that Microsoft is making. As Rodney mentioned, we've launched over 100 new Azure IoT services in the past year. But I want to focus in on two that are most relevant to you as device builders: Azure IoT Edge and Azure IoT Central. Azure IoT Edge is our open source, cross-OS, container-based edge runtime. It enables you to push intelligence from the Azure cloud down onto your device. It enables you to run locally with no latency and have full access to the hardware. It's differentiated with offline support, a device provisioning service, Kubernetes integration, and the ability to bring AI models to the edge. So why is this important to you? Because integrating the Azure IoT Edge runtime into your device image will make your device a target for any application that Microsoft and its partners are building to run on the edge. Now let's talk about Azure IoT Central. This is a new SaaS offering that Microsoft operates for customers who want to get all the guesswork out of architecting, building, and running an Azure IoT service. You can connect any of the devices that we've just talked about. You can set up user access controls. You can use dashboard templates to analyze your device data. And you can create rules and actions. A single engineer can set this up in a matter of minutes or hours, not weeks or months. Why is this important to you? Because it's the easiest way for you as a device builder to actually demonstrate the value of your device connecting to the cloud. Now, instead of selling a standalone disconnected device, your salespeople can actually be demonstrating the device in the context of the solution that the customer will ultimately be using it in. So we've built a powerful device platform with Azure IoT Edge, and we've built a powerful cloud service with Azure IoT Central. The feedback we get from customers, though, is that integrating new devices into these two is still too hard. Why is this? It's because the code on the device has to exactly match the code in the cloud. This slows down development cycles, and it makes the solutions incredibly fragile. Every project becomes an exercise in custom integration. This reminds me a lot of what it used to be like on the PC. Remember when every device that you connected to your PC needed to have a different driver? Do you remember IRQ conflicts, where you couldn't actually use two peripherals at the same time? In the 90s, we solved this with Windows Plug and Play. Today, we are going to do the same for any OS on any device connecting to the cloud. And we're going to do it with IoT Plug and Play. This is an open, standards-based solution for describing IoT devices and their capabilities. We're integrating support for IoT Plug and Play right into Azure IoT Edge and Azure IoT Central. So without writing any code, the ecosystem of devices and Azure Cloud Solutions will just work together. To help demonstrate the power of IoT Plug and Play with your devices, please welcome Rustin Hennebaker on stage. Thanks, Rustin.
Thank you, Roya. IoT Plug and Play is all about making it easier to build devices that get used by IoT solutions. It does this by using a device capability model that describes the information about the device and the interfaces it supports for telemetry, events, and commands. This capability model is documented in an open and extensible way using JSON LD format. Now, combined with a set of policies around things like interface versioning, it results in a very durable and standard way to describe how devices commit to implementing their interface to the cloud, and how cloud services program against them. We're adding support for IoT Plug and Play in our Azure and Windows products, and we're also adding it to our developer tools to help bootstrap an ecosystem of devices and services that can plug and play with each other. Let's walk through a few examples. Sorry. So here I have an asset tracker from our partner Compal. This asset tracker has GPS and other sensors to track the location and usage of high-value assets like vehicles and cargo. It's an RTOS-based device, and it uses a low-power microcontroller from ST Microelectronics and a narrowband IoT cellular radio from Qualcomm. So it can connect directly to the cloud and send sensor data wherever it is using as little power as possible. Now in the past, the firmware engineer, as Rohan mentioned, would have to build a custom way to communicate with the cloud. And the cloud solution developer would need to make sure that their code implemented in exactly the same way so that it matched. We call this being tightly coupled. And it proves to be both time-consuming and result in a very fragile solution in the end. But now, Compal's implemented a plug-and-play interface on this device. And this makes it much easier to implement with the cloud. Let me show you how much easier it really is to integrate with a solution that's never seen this device before. Now, here I have the homepage of a workplace safety application in IoT Central, and it monitors for unsafe conditions on a company's job sites. Let's see what happens when I plug in this Compal asset tracker and see what happens. Now, keep in mind, this application's never seen this device before, so it has no code written to support it. So, if we look at the new devices here, you can see a new device has arrived, and over here on this control, it's already figured out how to map its location. And when I click on the device page view, I can see the measurements from the various sensors of this device have automatically been populated, and data is already flowing into this time series graph in IoT Central. And if I click on settings, you can see the settings this device supports. We can see things like the sampling rate, turning on and off tracking, or setting the battery alert levels. And in the properties settings, you can see things like the firmware version and the manufacturer. This has all been populated by the plug-and-play descriptor. All of this just showed up for the user in IoT Central without writing any code in our application. When this device was first connected to IoT Central saw that it had an IoT plug-and-play interface, and it dynamically pulled the device capability model from the device, and it started using that interface to populate information that it knew about, things like location, things like that it had sensor measurements, things like settings and properties. So Compal's device was immediately usable by this application without writing any new code. Now, let me show you how Visual Studio Code let's look at the device capability model in Visual Studio Code. So, here you can see some simple XML that describes this device capability model for the device. And you can see here, here's the example of like the Z-axis accelerometer data from the device. So it's a pretty simple way to describe the interface of how your data shows up in an XML, in this IoT plug-and-play interface. Now, we're working on a new feature in Visual Studio where we can actually take this file, and if I take this XML file and we build it as part of our project, what we're going to do is automatically generate the code for your device to implement this plug-and-play interface. And there we go. So you would just take your sensor data, bind it to these Gitter interfaces, and take it and put it into your device, and you now have a plug-and-play compliant device. If you want to support more interfaces on your device, you just take the XML for those interfaces, put them into the device capability model, and ask Visual Studio to generate that code for you. Very easy. Now, that was a relatively simple device, an RTOS-based device. Now let's take a look at a more sophisticated device, perhaps the most sophisticated device, that uses Azure IoT Edge and cameras to perform AI vision on the edge. And let's see how we can leverage Azure IoT plug and play for that. This is a new device from Lenovo, the ThinkSystem SE350 Edge Server. It's a great example of an Azure IoT Edge device that's capable of bringing an incredible amount of compute to where the data is. This particular device has an NVIDIA Tesla T4 chip and has all the horsepower we need to do accelerated machine learning models on the edge. As Rodney mentioned earlier, cameras combined with compute and AI are really the ultimate sensor because they can do things and understand things that normally humans can only do. We're going to connect 16 IP cameras to this Lenovo Edge server and show how the NVIDIA DeepStream technology and Azure IoT Edge can take AI models that have been trained in the cloud and deploy them down onto the edge, where this single edge server can then perform inferencing on all 16 of those video streams simultaneously. An incredible 1080p, 30 frames per second for every camera. And then we're going to use plug and play interfaces on this for the edge server and the IP cameras to expose the video streams and the inferencing results from them. So, let's take a look. Here we have an IoT Central application for a digital distribution center. In this demonstration, the machine learning algorithms are looking at packages as they flow through our digital distribution center. And they're checking those packages, whether they're properly labeled, whether they're being properly sorted, or if there's any damage to any of the packages. So, if I look at this belt here that has an error, I can see all 16 of the cameras with AI overlays. And if I click on this specific camera that's showing an error, I can see a video of just that camera, and I can start to see the events of the errors that are coming by on that conveyor belt. So this is just an incredible example of what's becoming possible with edge computing, and why we're so excited about the hardware partnerships to bring technology like this to market. The ThinkSystem SE350 with Azure IoT Edge is going to be available later this summer and come with your choice of Windows or Linux. And at the same time, the NVIDIA DeepStream technology is going to be available as an edge solution in the Azure marketplace. So, I've now shown an example using IoT plug and play with an RTOS-based device, and then an example with a Linux device running Azure IoT Edge. Now, with both of these examples, it still requires you or your customers to write device code and to implement that into the image of the device. But we're going to show you how with Windows, we're making this even easier. We're building a solution with Windows where you can create a plug and play device without writing any code on the device or in the cloud. We call this IoT Plug and Play Bridge for Windows. And what it does is take devices and sensors that Windows can see using Windows Plug and Play, and it exposes them as IoT Plug and Play devices that the cloud services can see. Let me show you how that works. Here I have an Advantech industrial PC. Oops, I skipped by my industrial PC. Let me just go back to that. There we go. Here I have an Advantech industrial PC running Windows IoT. And I'm going to connect it to an environmental sensor over a Modbus network. So this is just like you would see in any smart building solution. Now, Windows already has support for this Modbus device and thousands of other devices. And we're going to show you how, with some simple configuration, you can expose any of these devices as IoT plug and play devices. Okay. So, I'm using Azure IoT Device Agent on Windows to automatically connect my device to Azure. And here you can see an Azure IoT Central dashboard for monitoring environmental data in office buildings. Because I have the plug and play bridge installed and configured on the industrial PC, data from the Modbus sensor immediately starts flowing into my dashboard where it can be monitored, alerts can be set, and actions triggered. And once again, I can do things like see how what commands are available for this device. I can also see what properties have been set for this device, its firmware version, manufacturer, etc. And I get all of this data flowing. All I had to do was tell the plug-and-play bridge which of the devices connected to Windows I wanted to turn into IoT plug-and-play devices. And then I just had to tell them how to expose that data in a device capability model. And guess what? You can do that once again using a simple XML configuration file. And here it is. Here at the top of this file, you can see how I've told the Azure Device Provisioning Service which Azure service to connect to, whose account to connect to, and I've also told it which plug-and-play device capability model to use for this device. And then I can start mapping the Windows connected devices to the IoT plug-and-play interface. So here, I specified that I wanted to expose the device on COM port 1, and I can show how to expose the serial bus commands. Here, 40001 for carbon monoxide, and I know that 40002 for carbon dioxide. So very simple. So with simple configuration, I can specify which Azure account and service to securely connect to, and how to expose the Windows IoT device and any device connected to it as a plug-and-play device. And this works just as well. You can use I2C, you can use SPI, USB, we can do webcams, you can even do Bluetooth devices. And it all works without having to crack open the image of your device and write a bunch of code. So, it's all about making it faster and easier to build IoT solutions. Thank you.
Excellent. Great round of applause for Rustin. Thank you. So we've been getting great feedback from customers on our IoT plug-and-play capability. We believe that this capability will be as game-changing for IoT as it was for the PC decades ago, accelerating getting your devices into the hands of solution builders around the world. A giant thank you to the 26 partners participating in our IoT plug-and-play private preview. I'm looking forward to more of you joining us as we move to public preview later this summer or year. Last year, we announced the Intelligent Edge Resource Center and Community as the single source for training materials, hardware developer kits, OS builds, and more. We connected with over 25,000 partners. We hosted 25 regional IoT in Action events. We held 20 webinars in Mandarin, English, Korean, and Japanese. We match-made over 600 partners to various ecosystem opportunities, and we provided 150 partners with the opportunity to showcase their solutions back to the community. So if you didn't sign up last year, you're clearly missing out. So please, sign up and join us on our Intelligent Edge journey together. Now, what would a Computex keynote be without a few more announcements? Today, I am announcing the general availability of Windows IoT Edge, Azure IoT Edge, on all versions of Windows IoT, from Core to Enterprise to Server. I'm also announcing the general availability of Windows IoT on NXP's IMX family of processors, ready now on IMX 6 and coming later this summer on IMX 7 and IMX 8. Additionally, I'm announcing an expansion of our Azure IoT Edge support on Linux with a preview of ARM64 support. And finally, I'm announcing a new certification program for IoT plug-and-play devices, so you can validate compatibility of your device and also participate in promotional opportunities through the Azure Device Catalog and the Azure Marketplace. So whether you are building a small embedded device, a modern industrial PC, or an edge server appliance, there is a version of Windows, Linux, or RTOS for you, and they'll all come cloud connected to Azure. We are invested in building the richest edge and cloud platform for you, our device partners. And you should expect us to continuously innovate on your behalf. Together, we will digitally transform the world. Thank you.